All right, here's another game in 3 minutes. This one features a classic sacrifice. Pretty basic stuff here. He's threatening to play e5. We got to stop it. We stopped it. Good move. Got to stop c4. So c3. If he goes c4, bishop to c2. This keeps his knight off of e4. And now we're continuing, formation. So we got to watch out for bishop to b7 or bishop to a6, whichever one. Now bishop to a6 is threatened, so we stop that. Pretty basic stuff, actually. All right. Standard rook to f3. This is the right move in this position. That is not really a good move. But he can't take with the knight because the recapture pawn forks the bishop and the knight. So if you're going to take, you have to take with the bishop. But that bishop is a really potentially strong piece. Now he's in trouble. Pause the video and see if you can figure out what you think you should do as white. And we're back. What did you come up with? Was it this? Well, it should be. This is the Greco Sacrifice. Bishop takes h7 check. Classic. Pretty straightforward stuff. You do it because his knight has disappeared from defense of his king, and his king really, gets about half defense from the knight on e8 and about half defense from the rook. So basically, he's got about one piece worth of defenders at his king against like 3 attackers, and that bishop, the dark square bishop, could get there too if things go weird. So this is devastating stuff. We're threatening to mate him, so he's got to move. He's got to move the f pawn. There's just no two ways about it. If it doesn't move, he's checkmated on h7 or h8. So f5 is the correct move. So the point there is not to take it, because that would allow one of the knights to retake the f6 square to defend the king. So f5, not capturing en passant, is the correct move. Knight f3 was the best move, as the computer confirms. But I knew this. When you study an opening correctly, you'll learn things that the computer would confirm and tell you is the best move. Well, that's part of the study of the theory of the opening. b5 literally does nothing. He could have, just moved that bishop, but I mean, it looks like he's trying to play rook a6 for some reason. I have no idea. Okay, now shut down. The king cannot run. The knight g5, as the computer says, is the best move, because this is what you have to do in the Greco attack. That knight needs to get, you need to put a knight on g5 if you can, get a rook on f3, h3 if you can. The queen will go to h5. This is all standard stuff for the Greco Sacrifice. I'm not even threatening to take the e6 pawn to win the exchange. I'm threatening to checkmate him. That's what I'm playing for. I invested a bishop not to win an endgame. I invested the bishop to checkmate him because his position was deficient. So the computer said knight d to f6 was his best move, which is correct. Taking that does nothing. Well, I mean, every move is bad. It doesn't matter. He's going to lose anyway. It's a lose-lose scenario. So if we go back, he's supposed to play knight d f6. Oh, actually, no, he's supposed to play it earlier. Not f5, actually. f5 was the mistake. It's knight d f6 here. This is the correct move. Or the other one. Maybe it's the other move. Maybe it's the other knight he's supposed to move there. Oh, no, no, I'm sorry, my bad. That is correct. I go knight to f3. And he's supposed to move. Oh, yeah. Okay, there you go. No, that's not the one it likes. It must like knight df6. I don't know. Let's look and see. Yeah, because check, king f7. So it was e takes f6 was the move. And then I think he plays knight takes f6 is what the computer suggested as his best chances. So now we're just going to play here. Whoops, sorry, my bad. It was qg5. This is much better. Black is surviving. You know, he's going to weather a hideous attack, though, with bishop to f4 is coming, as well as knight e5. So this is what's happening. I don't know. I think you could play this. Oh, you don't like that? You like e5 for some god-awful reason? Whatever, dude. We just chop suey. No. Question mark. Why was that a question mark? F4? I don't know. Good question. Let's go back. I thought knight e5 would be the move, but I guess no. It is d takes e5. Threatening to kick that knight out of there and then go back to work on his king with bishop to f4 holding that pawn. I mean, it's like he's gotten a bad position, relatively speaking, but he survived the attack with best play. F4. F4? Who plays F4? I don't know, man. That's some crazy business. Double question mark. It doesn't really do anything. I don't know. Sometimes this thing is crazy. I don't know. QH5 then. Whatever. But game in 3 minutes, anything can happen, as you can see. So we go back here. Most people will have a hard time playing knight to f6 after knight to f3 because they're looking to try and the natural tendency here is to try to keep your extra piece versus giving it back to break the attack and have an inferior position. So that is the deal. So I mean, he's just, well, actually he's not even material down 5, 6. He's only, that's his even. But you know, his position is not too freaking hot. So I would think this is the right move. It says it isn't, but I mean, it sure looks right to me. But this one, he's staring square down the barrel of bishop to f4. With, you know, nasty stuff coming, which is going to be bishop to e5. So queen takes bishop. Queen takes bishop. What the heck is that? Well, I'd say we should just check him. Check him again. Oh no, not check him, my bad. Knight to e5. And then what? That checking move was a good move though. This is an ugly, ugly one. Yes, it's super nasty. Otherwise, king to here, it's knight g6 check at the very least, hammering him into the Stone Age. I don't know, I assume that this is the move. Because once again, it's hammer time. So he is in bad shape, baby. Oh, that's just hideous. God, I don't even know what the best move for him is. Yeah, I guess king f6. It can't be that right. No, I didn't think it was good. Oh man. Yes, he's like he has no good moves. All right, it says king e8 was the right move. Oh man, it's just ugly. That is ugly with a capital Ugh. All right, so this is some, nasty looking stuff. Finally, I got an exchange off of him. But this is all comes from the Greco Sacrifice, which you saw was just a nasty, it's a nasty sacrifice. Let's go back and look at how it occurs. All right, he played bishop takes knight, f takes, which is correct. You want to open up the lines for the king side attack. So, knight to e8, not a good move, as you can see. Crunch. Normally, the true Greco would have had, instead of the rook on the f3 square, it would have been, usually a knight would have been on f3. He would go knight to g5 check, followed by q to h5. And if he comes knight g5 check, if he goes king g6, then queen g4 is the standard move. So this is a variation of the Greco Sacrifice. Slightly different. But as you see, it's fairly devastating. And when you're sitting there defending it, it is monster difficult, as you see. You can't fault him because it usually comes out of the blue like lightning. And you're not prepared for this, and it's a destroyer, man. It'll wreck your confidence. So when someone falls to this, I mean, a good player knows that he made a mistake, and so he's like, oh, dude, it's terrible. So he just, it's super hard to handle. And like I said, the thing that really makes it magnifies the difficulty is that people just aren't generally realizing that they need to give away the knight to get the pawn out of there. And in a game in 3 minutes, it's super hard because it takes a while to figure this out if you don't already know this as part of the potential defense of the sacrifice. So this is one of the things. This is why you study certain stuff, famous stuff in games, for just this reason. Turned out to be a relatively easy win because he didn't know how to defend it after it was levied on him and then as it went through the procedure. And so he got caught and there was nothing he could do. So I hope you learned off of this Greco Sacrifice, and I hope it helps you out. All right, you guys know what to do. Talk to you later.